today I'm going to show you a cable pulling workout. Here we are doing a standard pronated pull down. Now this is very strict form. You're letting your scapula elevate at the top and depress at the bottom with a slight bit of retraction, which is pulling back, squeezing them together. This gives you the best strength gains and full development of the muscle. And next we're going to just do it supinated. Changing the grip allows for a little more elevation of the scapula when you go up. Just changes the stimulus of the exercise just enough to continue making gains with it. Okay, and here is a neutral grip. This is a wide neutral grip. A lot of times you won't find these bars in the gym. So you can also use a narrow neutral grip, which I'll demonstrate in a little bit. Still working on the elevation of the scapula and depression with slight retraction. And here we are with the neutral close grip pull down. You may find that you're strongest on these. This is a great position where you can use your lats along with your biceps to a large degree. And you want to think about forcing the elbows down, not pulling down with your hands with your biceps. And here we are with a single handle. This is great for balancing out strength from one side to the other. Plus you can get a little lean on the elevation part, as you'll see. And of course you'll do the other side. Now with the next one, which is going to be a rope pull down, you may have to lean back a little bit at the bottom to let your shoulder blades fully elevate, just because sometimes the seats don't set down far enough for you to get the full stretch without a little lean back. And as long as you're doing it controlled and not herky-jerky, you'll be fine. Okay, next we're going to go to seated rowing. This is where you're pulling the resistance horizontal, so you're working on protraction and retraction of the scapula, letting the scapula slide all the way forward and squeezing them together with a slight depression when you're at the full squeeze in the back. You don't really want to elevate, because your body's automatically going to be working your traps along with this. You don't want to make it primarily a trap exercise. You want to try to feel and get the good connection. And here we are with a unique handle. This is a neutral grip, not quite as wide as the other bar I was using, but a little wider than a close grip. So this is about as wide as you want to go for the seated pull, seated row. And here we are with the standard seated row handle with a close neutral grip. Still getting the protraction and retraction with a slight bit of depression of the shoulder blades. And here we are doing the exact same thing with a rope. Make sure you use the shorter rope. Sometimes they have a really long rope at different gyms, and that'll just have the weights hitting. Really trying to feel it. You don't want to overstretch, you just want to feel your muscles hit the stretch. And here we are doing a single hand. Get a little bit of pronation here on the extension and then neutral on the retraction. You can do whatever feels comfortable, but this is how I like to do it. And this is another way to really balance out your strength and development. And next we're going to do high rows. Now the only problem with this is if you don't have something to lock your feet against so you can push and brace yourself, you can only use so much weight on this. Here we're doing a pronated grip. This is good for working the lower trapezius along with the lats. And here's just a supinated grip just to give a different stimulus to the same movement, working the same muscles. So by now, you probably get the idea that anytime you change grip handles, you're going to get a different stimulus. So I'll show you one more here because I like to do everything single if possible. Now this one you can get a good amount of weight on because you're only pulling with one arm, so you're theoretically only half as strong. Theoretically. And next we're going to go to a more functional version where you're standing in a split stance and doing single arm rows. This is a great exercise for sports. And of course you can do it with a torso twist, but I like to do it strict. Here we are using a rope, doing the exact same movement, getting that good protraction, retraction with a slight depression of the scapula. Really good core work too, because you've got to hold yourself in position. And here we are with the famous straight, actually stiff is what I like to call it, arm pull down, because you do have a bend in the elbows and you actually want a slight bend in the elbows so you're not damaging joints. You are trying to flex your lats to get the weight down or to get the bar down to lift the weight. And here we are doing the same thing with a rope. So you can use multiple different ways to do this. Usually just a pronated or a neutral is best because otherwise it's a little awkward to do like a supinated grip because you're pretty much dependent on your hand strength. And here's a bonus. This isn't cable, but this is a hammer strength machine. So you've got individual weight stacks. You can do multiple things here. This is a high row. You can also do one arm contracted, holding the contraction. You can do one arm extended, holding the extension. Let's see, here we go. There, you got one arm in the stretch, still getting resistance. And then you alternate arms.